What is going on, YouTube world? My name is Ghiman Mckinney, or you can just call me Juice, because that is my nickname. Appreciate you guys for watching this video today. Be sure to smash that like button right about now, as it does help these videos get to the public and my channel to grow overall. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. I do post a ton of great sports news weekly, and almost every single day if I can, and turn on post notifications too, so you do not miss a single one of those videos that I post. It is only right, you guys. The San Francisco 49ers are heading to the NFC Championship game. They just beat the Minnesota Vikings 27-10. And to me, this was a classic San Francisco 49ers football game from this year. You know, on the 49ers, they ran the football very well. They had almost 200 rushing yards. I believe they had 186 rushing yards on the day. They were efficient on third down. They stopped the Vikings on third down. The Vikings were only 2 for 12 on third down on the day. That was absolutely atrocious. They dominated time of possession. You know, the 49ers held the ball for 39 minutes. They kept the Vikings offense off the field. They bullied the Vikings up front. They protected Jimmy G. Jimmy G only got sacked 2 times. Kirk Cousins, he was sacked 6 times, okay? And listen, Jimmy G, he didn't have his best day. You know, 131 yards, 11 for 19 on the day. Nothing to, you know, clap your hands about. But again, he didn't need to be too effective. You know, the 49ers, they just ran the football and controlled the game for most of the entire second half. And the Vikings offense for most of the game couldn't do anything. So Jimmy G, he didn't need to be Aaron Rodgers. He didn't need to be Patrick Mahomes. He didn't need to have 300 yards passing on the day. So again, shout out to Jimmy G. Shout out to the 49ers. And also, I think a key stat to keep in mind from this game is no running backs for the 49ers caught a pass. What that tells me is they have 4 legit weapons to trust. You know, George Kittle, best tight end in football. Emmanuel Sanders, excellent pickup from the Denver Broncos. Deebo Samuel, he's been great coming out of South Carolina. You know, Kendrick Bourne, the X factor for their offense. He showed up for this game, okay? The 49ers, they have 4 legit guys they can throw to, okay? They spread the football around a lot. They don't just have one guy that they always throw to. You know, George Kittle, he only had 2 catches for 16 yards, and the 49ers moved the football pretty well. And, you know, the Minnesota Vikings, they have a very good pass rush. The fact that Jimmy G was only sacked 2 times, the fact that he had a clean pocket most of the time was pretty impressive. The 49ers offensive line blocked the Vikings defenders up front pretty well. And, you know, this game was pretty close early on. It was 7-7 at one point. It was 10-14 at the half. But throughout the day, what was consistent was the Vikings offense just could not do anything. You know, they had 147 yards on the day, okay? That's the fewest yards a team has had in the playoffs in the Super Bowl era, okay? And one of the reasons why they scored a field goal was because Jimmy G threw an interception to Eric Kendrick. They were not able to capitalize off that. Listen, the thing about the Vikings is their offense just could not move the football. You know, Kirk Cousins, early on, that throw to Stephon Diggs was pretty good. It was a perfect throw, 41-yard bomb to Stephon Diggs. But outside of that, Kirk Cousins pretty much gave me nothing. He gave me nothing on the day. You know, he did complete 72% of his passes. I mean, 21 for 29 looks good on the stat sheet. But you look up and you see only 172 yards passing. That's not going to cut it. The 49ers did not allow Kirk Cousins and the Vikings to get deep passes down the field and to convert those big plays like they did versus the Saints, you know. And one of the reasons why their offense was able to bomb the football to Adam Thielen, mainly in the Saints game, and to make big plays down the field in the passing game, was because they had a running game in that game. It set up play action. It set up the deep passing game. The Saints had to respect Dalvin Cook and stack some guys in the box, and it created some matchups one-on-one down the field for the Minnesota Vikings. In this game, Dalvin Cook was a no-show. He did nothing. Dalvin Cook, six catches, 81 yards. 6 catches for 8 yards. Yes, Dalvin Cook, 6 catches for 8 yards. That's not going to cut it. 10 carries on the day for the Vikings rushing offense for only 21 yards. 10 carries on 21 yards. That's not going to cut it. If the Vikings cannot run the football with Dalvin Cook, they're toast. Kirk Cousins, he's not the guy that stirs that offense together. He complements it, but that running game is really what makes the Minnesota Vikings offense go, okay? And that's how Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs are so successful when Kirk Cousins is bombing the football down the field deep, okay? The few times the Vikings had opportunities to score some points versus the 49ers and to take advantage of some things, they just didn't do it. You know, right off the bat, just based on coming into this game, the Vikings should know that they're not going to have very many opportunities versus a very good 49ers defense in the first place. But when you get an interception versus Jimmy G with 3 minutes left in the half, and you start your drive on the 29-yard line, and you only score 3 points, that's a problem. Anytime Amir Abdullah has a great kick return and gets you almost to midfield, and you don't score off of that kick return, that's a problem. So again, we knew the Vikings offense would be challenged heading into this game. And you know, I felt personally that the Vikings potentially could be emotionally let down in this game just because they had such a great win last week. It was the biggest win of Kirk Cousins' career. It was the biggest win of their season. I personally actually did not see an emotional letdown in this game. I thought the Vikings actually came out ready to play to a certain extent. They just, in my opinion, lost to a better team. And I believe that the Minnesota Vikings offensive line, I said it in the preview when I made my prediction for this game, that the Vikings offensive line would struggle versus that 49ers defensive line. And I trust Jimmy G, Kyle Shanahan, and that 49ers offense to move the football more consistently versus a pretty good Vikings defense that does have a couple holes in the secondary. So I felt that the 49ers offense will have more success versus the Vikings defense. And while the Vikings had some success versus the Saints defense, I didn't think they would have much success versus the 49ers defense, because the 49ers defense to me is just better than the Saints defense. And I felt that it would be very hard for them to duplicate what they did last week versus a very good Saints team on the road. So again, shout out to the 49ers. The Vikings just lost to a better team on the road. No shame in that. Again, Kirk Cousins, I'm not going to say he played god-awful, but he didn't play great. He just was meh. You know, Kirk Cousins, anytime you take away Dalvin Cook, anytime he has to throw into tight windows consistently, he's not gonna come through for you. We know what Kirk Cousins is right now. Kirk Cousins is not an elite quarterback. He's not a guy that is the ultimate deodorant for a team. He needs some help. He needs time to throw. He needs a good running game. He needs support to make him look good. How the parts around Kirk Cousins performs in a game dictates what he actually does. So he's not an elite quarterback. We knew this coming into this game, and we just know that you're probably not going to trust Kirk Cousins to beat this 49ers defense on the road. He did it versus New Orleans. Congrats to him. I actually think the Vikings this season, considering the fact that the Packers won their division, you know, they unfortunately had to be a wild card team. The fact that they went to New Orleans and got a victory, I think that's honestly a successful season. I at least saw a sample size to where I can say maybe Kirk Cousins one day can win me a couple big games and potentially get me to a Super Bowl. Kirk Cousins has proven to himself now that he can win a big game on the road. It just wasn't versus the 49ers. Again, shout out to the 49ers. Right now, they, in my opinion, should be the Super Bowl favorite. I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but again, I expect if they face the Packers or the Seattle Seahawks, either or, I expect them to be favorite in this game because they're going to be at home, because they're just overall a more complete roster. Right now, as far as the remaining teams in the playoffs, the 49ers just have the best overall roster. Defensive line, offensive line, quarterback, running backs, depth, wide receivers. They got it all. There's really no weakness to the 49ers as far as their roster goes. And you can say Jimmy G is the weak link, but if Jimmy G is the weak link of my team, I will take that almost 8 or 9 times out of 10 because Jimmy G is a very good, solid quarterback. But I also am optimistic about the 49ers just because their bye week allowed them to get healthier. Now they have D Ford back healthy. Now they have Quan Alexander back healthy, okay? Those two guys make a huge difference on their defense. You know, D Ford is a great pass rusher that can complement a Nick Bosa. Quan Alexander is their Pro Bowl middle linebacker, okay? So the fact that they are now fully healthy on defense almost, that's a plus, because the 49ers, when they were fully healthy on defense for most of the season earlier in the year, they were on pace to set records as far as defensive production goes on the season. So the 49ers, to me right now, have the best remaining roster, and based on the way the playoffs have gone so far, I think that Vegas would probably have the 49ers as the favorite to win it all right now, just because the Ravens are now eliminated from the playoffs. You know, I believe that they're going to be a favorite versus Seattle. I believe they're going to be a favorite versus Green Bay. Whoever they play from that Green Bay Packers Seattle Seahawks game, I think the Packers will win that game. I expect the Packers to meet the 49ers next week. Again, I don't know if the 49ers are going to win the whole thing. I don't know who's going to win that game quite yet. But again, if I'm the 49ers, I'm feeling very confident about my football team, both on offense, defense, special teams. And now that my team is starting to get pretty healthy, I really love my chances of winning the whole thing. And by the whole thing, I mean the Super Bowl. Be sure to comment where you agree with me and disagree with me. Love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video today. Be sure to smash this like button right now if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel if you're new as well. I do post a ton of great sports videos weekly and almost every single day if I can. A fun fact about me is I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world. I want to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. Kind of like Colin Cowherd, Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp. You get the point. Okay, I want to do sports, television, and radio for a full living once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I currently am a freshman there right now. So the best thing you guys can do to just help me continue to grow as a young broadcaster is to just share this channel with all your friends, because potentially if this channel really gets somewhere, I want to start my own network, okay? You know, or potentially if it doesn't, you know, or if I fall a little bit short, I want to go into a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. So the best thing you guys can do to just flat out just help me grow as a broadcaster, help me learn, you know, get other people hip to this channel, you know, just share this channel with all your friends, share this channel on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. Also, be sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. And once again, guys, just share this channel with everyone you know. Get everyone hipped and watching these videos. Get my voice out there and heard. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. It's been your boy, Ghiman Mckinney, or you can just call me Juice. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in today. I really do. Have a God blessed day. Stay motivated, you guys, and I'm out.